Welcome to the Use What Works series. This is a VCU-ACE resource for families. The topic for this video is using prompting to support learning. Learning something new can be difficult. I'm sure everyone can remember back to a time in childhood when they had to learn a new skill. Perhaps it was learning to ride a bike independently or learning to tie shoelaces. Chances are you had some support or assistance from a parent or caregiver to help you learn that particular skill. The assistance that an educator, caregiver, or parent provides to a child is called prompting. Prompting is an effective strategy to help teach new skills to young children with ASD. There are many different types of prompts, including verbal prompts, gestural prompts, visual prompts, modeling prompts, and physical prompts. Verbal prompts are spoken words or statements that the parent or caregiver says to the child. A verbal prompt is said right before you want the child to do something. This might include saying, "Get your coat," so your child can get ready to go outside. Gesture prompts are nonverbal prompts including pointing, facial expressions, or physically indicating a correct response. One example of a gestural prompt might be when a parent or caregiver points to a child's coat to remind them to put it on and go outside. Visual prompts use an object, picture, line drawing, or symbol or icon to cue the child and let them know what to do. Young children with ASD typically demonstrate strengths in the area of visual processing. A parent or caregiver can show a young child pictures of their shoes, coat, and door to the outside to prompt their child to get ready to go. A model prompt is when someone demonstrates the desired skill or response while the child watches and then attempts to imitate the skill. A parent might model the step of putting their coat on. Then the parents can wait for the child to respond and imitate the skill. A physical prompt is when someone gently guides the child to do a skill or provides hand-over-hand assistance. This may be a full physical prompt, such as holding the child's hand and guiding it through the sleeve of the coat, or a partial prompt, which might include gently tapping the child's hand as a cue for them to put their coat on. Now that you have learned more about the different types of prompts, you may be asking which type of prompt to try with your child. This can be a little tricky at times. A good system for picking the right prompt includes: first, understand everything that is involved with learning the skill. There are many steps to some skills, so think about what a child must do first, next, and last. Next, observe the child and see what they can do independently. Then, watch for times when the child gets stuck in doing a task. Take the time to think about what the child is actually getting stuck on. Finally, consider which prompt might be best for the situation. For obvious reasons, some skills will lend themselves to very particular prompts. Let's go over which prompts are better for different skills. Choosing the right prompt for the situation is really important. Sometimes the child needs to see how to do something. Other times, the child needs to hear what to do. And in other situations, a child needs to be guided through the steps physically. If a parent only tells a child how to do a new task or how to do a certain skill, there's a chance the child won't understand what to do or how to do it. The parent or caregiver might keep saying the same thing over and over, and the child might get frustrated. Sometimes the parents get frustrated too. For example, if a child is learning how to stir a batter for the first time, they might need a physical prompt to help learn the skill. A physical prompt might include using hand-over-hand assistance so you can guide the child's hand to move in a circle. Think about it this way. If you simply tell a child to stir the batter, that might not be enough help since they need support with physically knowing what to do with their hand and arm at first. Let's look at how different prompts might be more useful in learning a variety of different skills throughout a typical family routine. Let's start with cleanup routines. First, think about what part of a cleaning routine you want the child to do independently. Is it simply putting away blocks and toy cars in the toy box? Or is it more complex and involves putting certain toys in one area and other toys in a different box? Cleaning does involve many different skills like picking up an item, categorizing what kind of toy it is, taking the toy to the right location, and putting it away. Now, observe the child after you say, "Time to clean up the toys." Wait a few seconds for the child to respond. If the child doesn't know what to do, this is the key time to add in a prompt. You may decide that a gestural prompt of pointing to the toys on the floor is enough to help move the child into action. It might be that the child doesn't know which toys go where, and you need to model where each toy is placed. Or perhaps the child has gotten stuck many times before in the past. If that's the case, a physical prompt is the best way to ensure understanding and to help the child physically complete the task of picking up toys. Observe what happens next. Did the child put the toy in the bin? Do they continue to get each toy until all are finished? If not, you may need to continue with the physical prompt a few more times and provide praise for accomplishing that task even though help was provided. Some young children will require practice putting toys away and getting praise for being able to finish the task independently. Slowly remove the physical guidance when you notice the child is independently putting the toys in the bins. This means that they are learning to do the skill on their own and they no longer need your assistance. Finally, keep in mind that young children can become prompt dependent. This means that the child is unable to complete the skill without the parent or caregiver providing some type of prompt. The child is so used to being prompted at every step that it becomes part of their routine. This is why it is so important to give the cue first and then wait a few seconds for the child to respond. When you practice the pause and wait, you might be surprised to see that the child can do some things on their own. For more information about prompting, please visit our website at www.vcuautismcenter.org/earlychildhood.